Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's IMS video post. Today, we're going to explore weeding the garden, and of course, that's an analogy. I want to start with a quote from the Buddha, a very pithy one. It kind of encompasses the whole path. And he said, "Do no harm, cultivate the good, train the heart and mind. This is the teaching of all the Buddhas." That's quite a sweeping statement. Right? This is the teaching of all the Buddhas. They all teach this path to liberation. No harm, cultivate the good, especially those first two. And of course, when we plant a garden, whether it's a vegetable garden or a flower garden, we are cultivating certain things to grow, right? We plant them and carefully with care. You ever tuned into that? There's metta, absolutely metta involved when we're planting a garden. Here's this little seedling, you put it in, you're putting nice soil around it, right? Not using crappy soil, you're getting good soil, put it around it, you tap it down, you give it a little water. There's quite a lot of care involved in that. But we're nurturing this thing, this being to grow and flourish. And then there are these other plants that come up because when we're fertilizing, so that the conditions and we're watering, the conditions in that little patch of ground for growth are pretty good. And so lots of other plants will start to grow as well. But they are, we call them weeds. But they're actually not what we're cultivating. We're cultivating, say, broccoli plant or pepper plant, or certain flowers. And so we remove the weed, we remove what we're not cultivating. We weed the garden, we take those out and we leave what we want to cultivate. So, right, very direct analogy to this is what we're doing with the heart and the mind when we're practicing. And this is all about the path factor of wise effort. The four wise efforts are cultivate wholesome mind states that have already arisen. Try to bring wholesome mind states that haven't arisen yet to arise. And then the opposite for unwholesome. Let go of wholesome mind states, unwholesome mind states that have already arisen. And try to keep unwholesome mind states that haven't arisen from arising. And, that's what we do, keeping them from arising. Some people will put hay or newspaper on the garden to keep the weeds from coming up. So it's a very direct analogy. It's also important to think about or reflect on, we're not angry at the weeds for growing up, and we don't think the garden is bad for having weeds, right? We don't have like an emotional response to that. We're just clear about what we're cultivating and what we're not. And we want to bring that to the heart and mind as well, because it can be much easier with ourselves, with our own hearts and minds, to start to judge when there are, quote, weeds in the heart and mind or unwholesome mind states, that somehow we are a bad person for that. Like, that is just, it's not necessary, and it's so not helpful. It's so painful to treat ourselves that way. So can we let go of that and just be really clear? This is what I want to cultivate. This is what I want to let go of. Wise effort. And of course, this is ongoing, right? The weeds keep coming in the garden. But, if you stay at it over time, they are sparser and there's less of them, and you actually don't have to weed as often, etc. So, we do make progress in the garden, and the plants that are left and the flowers, they actually really blossom and do well. And so it does take time, right? Lots of time. And this is where the paramis of patience and perseverance come in. You need lots of those on this path. And also, just to say, when we're weeding in the garden, like that's a good thing. We see that as part of the overall cultivation of the garden. It's not like, again, oh, this is bad or having to weed is bad. No, this is good. It's supportive for what we want. Well, when we are weeding the heart and mind, when we're noticing what the unwholesome mind states that are there, this is good. It's called purification practice. It's onward leading. It's moving us towards that place that we want to be, which is the heart and mind completely at ease and free from all that afflicts it. So when we notice the unwholesome mind states in the heart and mind, it's good. It's just like weeding the garden is good. We let go of them. We're clear that they're unwholesome, don't judge ourselves, and we let them go, knowing that in that letting go, it's not like, oh, we've blown it again and have to start over. In the letting go is the movement towards liberation. And of course, all this rests on the mind state of mindfulness, being present. We're not aware of what's wholesome or unwholesome in the heart and mind, then there's nothing to do. It's just going to run its course and spin, and we'll act that out and play that out. But with mindfulness, then we can know, this is wholesome, this is unwholesome, and then we have a choice. I like to say there's a Buddhist math equation that says mindfulness equals choice. And so let's do some practice now that will cultivate the mindfulness. Coming into position that you want to do the formal practice in. Sitting, lying down, standing. Just settling into that position, letting the eyes gently come to close. Softening the eyes, letting the face, the muscles in the face relax, letting the jaw relax, letting the shoulders drop, letting the belly drop. What's that like to let your belly drop? Becoming aware of the body. Just through this relaxation process, very naturally, brings the awareness to the body. And we connect consciously with the body in a somatic way. We notice what sensations we're feeling. Mindful. Body feels like this. You might start at touch points where the body is touching what we're sitting on or standing on. And we notice the physical sensations that we're aware of at those points, at those touch points. We can relax further both the body and the attention by widening the attention and feeling the whole body all at once. Still mindful, just a different scope of attention. Whole body sitting feels like this. And this is where we can start to perhaps connect with the body and experience it more as a field of tiny changing sensations rather than a discrete form with clearly marked edges. Tingling, vibrating, buzzing. Tiny sensations rapidly coming into and going out of existence. Every moment we are connected with the body in this way, meaning we feel sensations, whether it's at a touch point or a whole body like this. Every moment of that is a moment where mindfulness is present and being strengthened. You don't have to try hard to strengthen mindfulness. That would be too much effort. Simply connect with the body in this somatic way, feeling sensations. And the rest basically happens on its own. We can remember to keep softening the body as a support for this. We can have an intention that the body be still. Mindfulness of body, the first foundation of mindfulness that the Buddha taught. If we want to feel the breath as part of this physical bodily experience that we're aware of, that's fine. Just remember when you're experiencing the breath that what you're experiencing is the body. We don't leave the body to experience the breath. The attention stays embodied. Moment by moment, cultivating, strengthening mindfulness, this mind state that is the foundation of the entire Noble Eightfold Path. Nice to sit with you this morning. Thank you. Now, as you go about your day today, remember, hopefully you'll notice unwholesome mind states a lot. And remember, it's not bad or wrong, and you're not bad or wrong. Really see the glass half full. Oh, this is a good thing. In the noticing, I'm weeding the garden. Right in the noticing, the mind can't be totally consumed with the unwholesome mind state and know it at the same time. It's one or the other. So even in just a moment of awareness of an unwholesome mind state, the mind has taken its claws out and released. And that's a good thing. Really see the glass as half full when that's happening. And I wish you many moments of that today. And I wish you well today. This uncertainty that life is and what it brings up for us every day. May you have the equanimity and the compassion and kindness to meet each moment with just those qualities. And we'll see you again next time. Okay, bye-bye.